What's up, guys? Welcome to another Talking Bull podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Nick. We're here to bring you your weekly nerd news as well as talk some bull. We're going to start with our number one story. What did I say? Did I fuck that up?
It was rough again.
I don't care. I'll fucking ADR it. Anyways, I ruined my own bit. Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? E3 was this week.
Yeah, I was skipping your grand opening.
No, fuck it. I had a bit where, like, I said Teen Mom is the number one news, then it wasn't because no one gives a fuck about Teen Mom, except for, like, the 13 million people who watch that show. But I digress. E3 this week, press conferences galore. Let's talk about the great press conference that Square Enix did. It was terrible. Don't talk about that press conference. They literally did, like, an hour and 45-minute press conference and showed, like, 2 games, and that was it.
That was it.
And they were already games we knew, but didn't show off like any new Final Fantasy, any Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff, or the Avengers game that everybody wanted to know about. None of that. So they were like, oh, thanks for wasting our time. But we did get some big games. We did get some cool stuff. So I will start off with Bethesda's press conference because it was cool. I realized I just said press conference. So they have a game coming next gen. I'm guessing it's going to be like Skyrim and Fallout, but in space. It's called Starfield. They literally showed a planet and the title. They were like, "Hey, we're working on this for next gen." So
like 5.
Yeah, so 5 and Xbox 13, 27, 32 because that's how they count.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Then they gave us a tease for Elder Scrolls 6. Because everyone kept asking them where the fuck this game is. I liked that they were like, hey, we're working on it, which is more than what one game company did, and we'll get to that at some point today.
Fuck that company.
Yeah. They also showed off Doom Eternal. It's a sequel to Doom. It's going to bring hell to Earth. It looks cool. It's going to have more demons, lots of stuff, and we'll see it later at QuakeCon. They were kind of saving it.
QuakeCon?
Yes. It's like their conference or like big like con thing. We saw Wolfenstein Youngblood. This seems kind of cool. It's set within the Wolfenstein universe, and it's going to be the twin daughters of the main protagonist of the Wolfenstein series. It's going to take place in 1980, which is pretty cool. And it showed off Paris with the Nazis still in control. It's set 19 years after the second game where he started the American Revolution in the game, which was pretty cool. And then the big news, we got a shit ton of information about Fallout 76. I'm still skeptical on this game, but at the same time, I'm like, I probably will play this game.
You definitely will play this game.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's online, but I cannot associate with people, which I'm okay with. Now that I know...
If it is like that, yeah.
Yeah, now that I know I can do it. What I'm not going to... With Fallout games, especially 4, I bought that shit. Like, I was like, I'm in. Mm-hmm. This game, I'm going to wait and see what people's reaction is and how it is. I can't wait for the first day this game goes live and the server's crashing. Mm-hmm. It's going to be funny. Also, every game comes out in, like, fucking February. Like, almost every game that they announced the release date for was February 9th or 22nd. It's kind of crazy. So Fallout 76, obviously set it in the Wasteland. It is set in West Virginia. They keep playing that Country Road song, mm-hmm. which is pretty cool. It's the story of the first people to leave the vaults. And basically what it is each character in the game is a real person. You can go around and talk to a bunch of people, or not if you want to.
So everyone's not playing the same character?
No, everyone is their own character in the world, and there's no like set servers. So like when we play DC, our characters would go there basically. Mm-hmm. This one is wherever server you go or wherever your friends are, you go and all your shit goes with you. All your save progress, all of that, which is pretty cool. They showed off a bunch of monsters and various things. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Released November 14th, 2018. Yes.
So really close. We're getting up to that jam packs a little bit. Also, they announced a special collector's edition, the Power Armor edition. It comes with a helmet of the Power Armor. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty dope.
You got a picture of it?
No.
No.
But I will throw it up right there when we do it. Then they showed off Rage 2. It is a weird looking game. You just blow shit up, basically, and there's weird people in it. It's Mad Max times 2, basically. Mm-hmm. And basically the trailer was like, if it has wheels, you can drive it. So there's a lot of driving in that game. Yeah. It's a combination of like Twisted Metal and any other game they've put out. They announced some Prey DLC, but that's nothing. I mean, it's something, but no one really is for it. They announced that Fallout Shelter went right to the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty cool. So if you wanted to play Fallout Shelter on anything but your phone, you now can.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool to have it on the Switch. I don't know why you'd want to play that on your PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is the mobile game that you'd want to play when you're wasting time.
I played the shit out of that Shelter one on my phone.
I played it quite a bit, yeah. Xbox already had it, and now it's that they were releasing to it. They've put in a bunch of games, which is cool. Then they showed off Elder Scrolls Blades, which is a mobile game, and they're like, ugh, a mobile game. This game looks fantastic. Like, they showed off a whole trailer, and like you being able to play and do everything that you would want to in kind of an Elder Scrolls game, but on your phone. And it's one of those ones where it takes full, like, yeah, I just want to show you, like you can do, like you have all your potions, all your skills, and like there's the open,
finally,
yeah,
a minute and a half into a 2-minute video, a glimpse of what the fucking game looks like.
Yeah. Well, this is them talking over the thing. So like you see like the open world, you can walk around in. Also, that's the end of it. Yeah, you can, when you change your phone upright, I forget what the name of it is, not portrait, but the other way. Landscape. The phone will change
like
with it. So you can play it this way.
This way?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So now, like, if you want, like, you're playing like this, you're just like, oh, I need to do something. Or like, they're basically like, oh, if you're at a meeting now, it doesn't look like you're playing Elder Scrolls. And I'm like, that's cool. It looks really good. It'll launch this fall. You can pre-order it on Google and Apple stores, which is kind of weird.
Weird that you can pre-order a mobile game.
It happens a lot. They did it with Fortnite too.
But you don't like. Oh, so you're paying for it, right? It costs money. Mm-mm. Then why are you pre-ordering a free game?
I don't know.
Who pre-orders just what the fuck?
I don't understand. I don't know either.
Who pre-orders a free fucking game?
I don't know. And like, what? Are they gonna run out of digital titles?
Yeah.
They're like, we only have 6. Sorry.
Fuck. Oh, this makes me fucking mad. Society is fucked. We're screwed.
Oh yeah, we're done.
Pull the fucking pin. Jesus Christ.
So at this point now, I'm kind of just gonna jump around to games that I found interesting or that we talked about before. Skull and Bones. We saw this game last year. Me and you were pretty hyped watching this trailer, and then they're like, online on a boat, and we were like, we'll see you later, goodbye. Yeah. They showed off the new game.
But it looks different.
It looks better than it did last year, and
it's still online on a boat.
Yeah, and now
it's like 76.
Yeah, and now you can get. I guess when you're at the port, you can get out and walk around and stuff. But this game just
depends on how it plays. If it plays like you're dependent on other people, I won't play. If
they showed off
76 or DC Online where I can't achieve the game by myself.
They showed off a good chunk of a gameplay demo, and they showed a guy taking on a boat by himself, taking on this thing, and then out of nowhere he was attacked by a bigger boat, and then all these other boats that were around teamed up to help him take on this boat, and because it had like a huge treasure thing, you could all take your share and take off, or you could fight it out and do that. And I'm like, that's cool.
It's kind of like DC where you would team up and take out the big guy and then go get your shit out.
Exactly. I'm okay with games like that online. For the most part, like I just hate them because like people are dicks and they suck, and I don't want to play with people online. People like for the most part. But yeah, it's cool. It's going to launch in 2019. I do not know if it has an actual release date. No, it doesn't. But that was shown off by Ubisoft, who also showed off Just Dance 2019. It's coming to everything. I think they said the Wii also. They also showed off the Division 2, and that game is completely, like, they fixed everything that was wrong with the first game, and it looks more like there's a better story, there's a better narrative, there's better, like, it looks like they did those things where, like, I know you hate it and a lot of other people too, it's those scripted fucking, like, teamwork things where they're pretending to be on the mics and it just sounds like garbage because that's not how people talk. They're like, oh, good one, Ted, you got the thing. It's like, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And they do it all the time instead of, like, just tape people who play games.
Well, then they can't air it because there's a bunch of cursing.
Well, just tell the people they can't curse. It's not that hard. Or get streamers who don't curse.
Who doesn't fucking curse playing a video game?
That's true.
You know how mad I get playing a fucking video game?
I've said fuck like 4 times in that one sentence.
Yeah.
But, so we saw more of that. Division looks really cool. It comes out later this year.
But I suppose what I was going to add to that, too, is, like, there's also a lot of, like, when you play the game, are you really talking to these people? No.
Nah.
You don't even turn your headset on, right? So, like, it's a lot of, like, if you're going to record people playing, then it's just dead air. You hear people
yeah. Which you don't want to do.
Like, that's all you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I guess they got to script it.
This was them showing, like,
but just script it better.
Yeah,
right?
just script it better. It's not
just
that
get
fucking...
better writers. Like, who talks like that? Good golly, Tim. Who the fuck says golly?
Me exclusively now. Every time I swear, I'm just going to be like, good golly. Tim, you fucked up. They're like, why'd you swear? I'm like, I don't know. I just have to. Oh, that's great. Then they showed off more of Donkey Kong and said that the Donkey Kong DLC is almost as big as the actual game for Mario plus Rabbids. I'm like, cool. I hate the fucking rabbits, so I'm never playing that game. They also there was more of an update on that Starlink game where, like, you put your toys on the thing and it makes them in the game. And we're like, wow, I thought that fucking toys as a thing were dead. And Ubisoft's like, no, we got this.
Like, no. Like, Lego couldn't do it, so, like, what makes you think you can do it?
Skylanders is barely holding on. But like, no, we got this. But they basically got their success because they announced that Fox is going to be in the game on the Switch version. And you get his fucking arrow wing and a little figure of him. And, no, people love that shit. So they'll fucking instantly buy it. Shit, I almost bought it. I wanted the fucking little dude. And then I realized, because, like, I want the ship because it looks cool from the Star Fox game. And I'm like, they're expensive to just buy a fucking thing, and then you get the little cloud with it. Or Fox. And then I went to the fucking page, and it was $100 American. And I'm like, there's no way this game is worth that much. No. I'll wait till it's, like, $20. And then I'm like, and then I have to play Starlink. I'm like, no, thank you. Then they showed off more of... What did Ubisoft show? Nothing worth of consequence to me. Basically, the big thing is we saw more Kingdom Hearts. There was 2 trailers that were the same. Showed off more of the fighting as well as Frozen for the first time, which looks kind of cool. I guess this one is keeping with the trend of going with the movie plot, which they were trying to get away from in the other games, like making its own story within the world, but Frozen seems to be going within the thing. As well as they showed off Pirates, which seems to take cues from, what's the last one, At World's End?
No. The last one was
Stranger Tides. Yeah, Stranger Tides. Yeah, we're going with that. Oh, it seems to be set in that thing. It looks really good. Like, it looks like you would expect it to. It was fully voiced, and it was weird, though, because there was no, like, game music, and it was just kind of, like, sound effects and them talking, and then halfway through the trailer, the Don't You Think Twice theme kicked in. It was really kind of a weird... But more Kingdom Hearts. And we got a release date fucking finally 20 goddamn years later. January 29th, 2019. Hopefully this fucking game doesn't get deleted. Yeah, not even delayed, just deleted.
What if they lost it? Let's say we got wiped from like...
They almost... Did you know this story? They almost did that with Toy Story. I think it's Toy Story 2. Pixar accidentally deleted the entire movie. Luckily,
they didn't empty the recycle bin.
One of the people. No, they did. One of their women one of their women in the departments, I believe it was an animator, was off on maternity leave working on some scenes, and she had the uncut footage of the movie. So they were able to be like, we need that back. We accidentally deleted the movie.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I found this out once, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you accidentally delete your entire movie and not hit unfucking do immediately? And then why do you only have one goddamn copy?
Yeah, like, everyone gets a copy.
Like, oh my god. Oh, I want to tell that story about Chris Pratt and Tom Holland later, after we get out of this. Then we saw more of the ghost of, Jesus Christ, Shinshuma? Ghost of, yeah, Shinshuma. This game looks cool. It takes place, I'm going to say, in, like, samurai era, for lack of being able to talk about anything distinctively. And you just see, like, it opens up with this dude on a hill who I instantly called Kung Lao because I'm racist. And he has the hat that looks like Kung Lao.
It does.
And then, like, this is actual game of him just walking. It looks fantastic. And then at some point, I'm like, do something. I'm like, I get it. The game looks great. And then he gets into a fight, and it's the Batman style of fighting, which is pretty cool. Because the Batman style is awesome. But then you see, like, the leaves and the trees and everything going. But then there's a cutscene, and this warrior attacks you, and it turns into kind of like this 3D Mortal Kombat style Dawn fight between these two samurais. And that is fucking cool. When we talked about this game last year when we saw it during our E3 stuff last year, and I'm like, this game is not for me. Like, I have no fucking interest in this game. And then I seen this, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks awesome.
So because it looks good, you'll play it now?
Yeah. If it looks good and seems like an interesting story, I'm in. But when we initially saw it, I'm like, there was just that one teaser, and all you saw was nothing and the logo, and I'm like, I don't care. But yeah, now it looks cool. It's one of those games I'll say I'll play and then put on the back burner and never actually fucking play it. Then we saw Death Stranding. We now want to know what that game is about. That was a joke. We have no fucking clue what this game is about. Like, no clue at all. We saw the baby's butt, and then the little baby head poking out of Norman Reedus' mouth again. And then it's weird because it just shows him kind of walking, but it was just more in-game stuff. Like, the game looks beautiful. Like, it's just him going over various terrain with his backpack and stuff. And I'm like, is this Backpack Simulator? So he's just walking around with this. And then there's a cutscene that shows kind of like the monsters and a whole bunch of things like, give me your hand in this, give me your hand in that, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But it's just quiet, and you can see like them trying to stop breathing and like any sort of movement at all to see these creatures in the dark. And this lady eats a bug or something. It's fucking weird. It's Kojima, man. But I'm very intrigued by this game since the get-go. And I haven't seen it yet, but remember the other trailers all lined up to make something. I don't know if they've lined this one up yet to see it, but I'm intrigued, but I have no idea what this game is. So, and we'll see it whenever we see it. Mm-hmm. I probably not for a while, would be my guess. Then they showed off some cover art. It looks cool. I like the movie poster kind of feel to them.
Yeah.
And then Sony's other big game, they showed off The Last of Us Part 2. And it shows Ellie talking with her friend, kind of. And it shows them at a dance. And this one girl's with this guy, and Ellie is talking to this dude here, whose name I didn't catch in the trailer. But it's funny because they're like, oh, they'll last a week, blah, blah, blah. And then they're dancing, and then they're talking about her dad. Ellie and that one dude are talking about, like, Joel. And it's like, oh, your dad does this, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts to these two who are dancing, and they're flirting a little bit. And, like, Ellie feels like, oh, all the people are looking at you because you're beautiful and not me, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, maybe they're looking at you. And then she kisses her, and it's actually fucking hysterical. Like, it undercut the scene because I'm laughing, but like it actually is a nice moment within the game because it contrasts to what Ellie's about to do in the trailer, which is just straight up murder a bunch of fuckers. But to a lot of people, they didn't know Ellie was gay because they never played the DLC for The Last of Us Left Behind, where it shows that she is, in like just building up towards that. But it was kind of funny just seeing people's reaction to that. So the trailer goes on and shows Ellie just brutally stabbing this fucker in the neck, and that's the end of him. And then she's sneaking around and she sees a bunch of guys, and it kind of shows more of like what happens that trailer last year with the guy. And this guy in the trailer, I highly recommend you guys all check out these footages of stuff we saw, because they were great deep dives in this game. They hung him and then gut him, and you see it. I'm watching that and I'm like, Jesus. And then like she takes off, and then there's a fight in the parking garage, and she's scavenging for ammo while shooting these guys, and it's gruesome, and when she gets hit, it's violent, and that guy's dead.
Yeah.
Like she's taking arrows off of people, and it just shows her running around trying to escape all these people that have now caught her, and kind of the decision of whether or not to like fight or flight, or to like, she's gonna get a gun later on, and it runs out of ammo, and it does the worst sound in the world, which is the click. And like, you shoot the gun, they hear you, so what do, right? And then the quick time event where she shanks this guy too with an arrow in the face, but then they go into this building and they have her surrounded, and it's just really cool because it shows like how you use your environment to sneak around and do stuff. Like there's this one guy who she shoots a light and basically just kills him with the light and explodes. And then like there's like brutal takedowns, and just it's a violent fucking world. And I thoroughly enjoyed it watching it. And I never finished Last of Us Part 1, but I know what happens, and I really want to play this game. It looks fantastic. Naughty Dog does great things. And I do not believe this game has a release date yet. No. Also, I found out that one girl in the trailer is voiced by Shannon Woodward. She's in Westworld, but she was also in that show where that guy has a baby that was on Fox. And he's like a redneck and whatnot. Or like he's really super poor. I forget. Oh, Raising Hope.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And then they showed off this other little game that I guess we could talk about if you really want to. Spider-Man. I'm not really sure too much about this guy, but he seems to swing some webs, and he seems to do whatever a spider can. This trailer, it was so fucking good. Like, seeing Spider-Man do what Spider-Man should is awesome. He was swinging on webs. He was doing the Batman fight styles.
Yeah.
He was making smart-ass comments about stuff, and it is just super cool. And it starts off with his police friend who's new to the Spider-Man thing, going to the Ark, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's the Raft.
The Raft. Marvel has a lot of prisons with weird names, so they go to the Raft, and like this game looks fan-fucking-tastic. I like every game we saw. So they're going in, and it's Electro shows up.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I hate when Electro doesn't have powers that are just his, but it looks cool in the game, so I'm letting it pass. But he looks really good. He's quipping with Spider-Man.
Like Deadpool.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
He's quipping with him, and he's running through the prison freeze everyone. And
you
then
get to see see how it slows down, just like
yeah, and like he's got a lot of cool web powers.
Right here, I believe, is where you see Rhino.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like mechanical.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, it doesn't look as bad as the Amazing one.
No.
But he kind of looks like
he's like
Polygon Transformers.
He's mechanical.
Yeah.
But still, like, his body is weirdly shaped to fit that suit too. So like his body is fucked up.
I wonder if he's augmented with the powers as well as the suit.
Maybe.
But he looks really cool. So it's basically showing off, and like it's building towards the Sinister Six. And then we see Scorpion.
It looks pretty cool.
He looks pretty cool.
They all look good.
They all look fantastic.
One scene where he's like
I love the different route they took with how these characters look. And that suit has really grown on me. I actually really dig the suit now. When they initially showed it, I wasn't too keen on it. But like,
yeah, I was like, oh, but like, oh.
Yeah. His Spidey sense were great. The fighting is fantastic. He's chasing
There's this part, I think, where he's like, where he starts really chasing him.
Yeah, going up the prison wall. This was cool. He's running up the wall and then just swinging around and
falling and free falling.
And it looks like even though you're on this small island to start off with, that there's a lot of open space.
Oh yeah.
And like it looks like they almost set it up to where it's like go where you want, but kind of do what you need to do. And I really like that. I love the, like, things are breaking, but it gives you enough time to react to them, and the weather effects look fantastic. And then just, like, Max is a horrible villain in his own right. So, like, he needs these other guys to help him. And I love the look of Vulture in this. He looks really good. But, like, that teaming up...
I'm not a big fan of this negative.
Yeah, he's really new, so it's kind of like
I don't know.
People don't know him that much.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna feel about
so he's still chasing him around, and he's running up the walls, and it's pretty cool. Like it's times where you got to jump, and it gets harder and harder as you go up the wall, and then he gets to the rooftop, and he just gets his ass. He starts winning the fight. It's really cool, and then he's quipping. He's like, "We don't have to do this," and he's like, "Yeah, we do." And then the odds overwhelmed him.
Yeah,
and he goes down hard, and I'm like. Oh my god, is this like a Metal Gear 2 thing where it's like they advertise Snake but then you play as Raiden? And then it turns out we play fucking Miles instead of Spider-Man because he died 10 minutes into the game?
Yeah.
I'm like, I will throw that shit out my front fucking window. And then you see lights and a guy pop up. And Spidey's... You don't know, you just see lights. Yeah, you see lights go on him.
Maybe a helicopter or something. Around,
and Spider-Man goes, "Oh, you," or what something. Yeah. And the internet does what it does and speculates. But the internet does one thing. They speculate really well.
I'm assuming it's Norman.
Yeah. And then they jump off the goddamn deep end. Yeah. Where they're like, it's fucking Iron Man. And I told you this the other day. And you were like, people are fucking stupid. Why would it be Iron Man?
You know who thinks it's Iron Man? The same people who they pre-order a free mobile game.
Also, the same people who say yesn't.
Yes.
Those fucking idiots. Yes. And those are the same fuckers who go up to a coffee shop and go, double.
Those are like singles.
Singles. It's like the Little Caesars, but a strip club. Singles. So that was Sony's press conference. It was cool. I'm trying to think of... And then like they showed off more Just Cause 4 after its final reveal. It's more Just Cause. It looks great. There's more tethers. There was like a deep dive I didn't watch yet, but I just watched the initial thing. He drives into a tornado, so weather is going to have a bigger factor into it. That's cool. They announced Overcooked 2 coming in August. And yeah, just more Overcooked. I guess the games get like crazier, and you can do it local wirelessly or online co-op multiplayer. This will be a great game to stream with the people that I talk to, and just we'll be yelling at each other because it's one of those games where it's like you shouldn't play with people you like because it's announced for August 7th. Initially, it was just announced for the Switch, and I was like, come on, guys, we know this is going to other consoles. But yeah, it's going to the other consoles as well. So that was cool. And then Elder Scrolls Bleeds, that's the DC thing. All right, well, I think that was it for stuff that I really was like, woohoo. Then Nintendo. This was the other big one that I'm like waiting for to see what they were going to show. Because we knew they were going to show Smash, but we weren't sure what we were going to see from Smash. It was a pretty good Smash thing. They showed off what it is. That's what I'm talking about. They showed it what it was. It's cool. Every character that has ever been in a Smash game is in this game. I think it was like 90 something. There's a lot of fucking characters in it. Yeah. And you have to unlock them. It starts off with like the base roster from like the original game, and then you unlock them doing stuff, which is fucking awesome. It gives you a reason to play it constantly, which is great, as well as being able to afterwards just continue to play with online or doing whatever. Yeah, and like there's so many characters. It's like, oh, I've never played as this guy. Let me try him out. That's awesome. I'm excited. And then they announced that there's more characters coming. They didn't want to add too many characters on top of that roster, but they were like, we're gonna add a few. And then they showed off. There's this great thing, and it's Mario, Samus. That's the name of her game. Samus and Mega Man walking on a platform, and it's dark, and all of a sudden, boom, Mega Man gets stabbed in the back. He's gone. Mario, boom, gets stabbed in the back. He's gone. His hat fell on the little catwalk. Turns around, shows a close-up of Samus's visor. She's like, oh shit, where did Mario go? I just killed Nintendo's franchise. Fucking Ridley just fucking pops out. This giant fucking dinosaur-looking dragon thing is now in the game, and he looks scary as fucking badass. And they also announced Daisy. Because, like, it's kind of an easy palette swap for Peach. But, yeah. And then, apparently, there's a few more coming throughout whenever they do it. And then this game is coming out December. Which I'm like, cool. Christmas. I wish it was September. But got a lot of stuff to play before that. Spidey. Spidey, Red Dead. Like, just a bunch of shit. Then they showed off a trailer for, this is on someone else's press conference, but Resident Evil 2, the remake, which was built completely from the ground up. It looks phenomenal. Everything looks great. I'm really glad for it. And then they announced the release date as well, which is January 25. I can't talk anymore. My brain is fried.
2019.
It was a long fucking day today. We had fucking everyone and their mother at the store because that holiday is done today. And they had a big thing over at one of the the ice park. And like it was ridiculous. It was my brain doesn't work anymore. So yeah, there's the release date of that number I said, which he fixed. And yeah, complete redundant game. Awesome. I'm excited. And then there was a bunch of news of like games, why certain games weren't there. They didn't show off Metroid Prime 4 because it wasn't ready. They delayed Yoshi's Story because it wasn't ready.
But do you know about Yoshi's Story?
No.
So what I'm saying is like, you know Yoshi's Story is a game that's being made.
Yes.
So you do know about it. You know of it.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
So you know of Yoshi's Story. They just didn't show anything because it's ready. But you know of Yoshi's Story. You know the game is being made. They addressed it and said the game was going to be made. And just said, we're not ready to show you anything.
Yeah.
Why the motherfucker can't Rocksteady show us what the fuck they're doing?
I know this is where it's going.
At the very least, tell us what you're doing. It's been rumored strongly.
A lot of rumors.
That it's Superman. But not confirmed by anyone over there, you know? Same with Montreal. What the fuck are they doing? We know it's a Batman related. What is it? But is it? Again, we don't know it's Batman related.
From the sounds of it, they've scrapped 3 games over at Montreal.
Yeah.
The Damien game, the Justice League game, and the Suicide Squad game.
And so what are they doing and what is Rocksteady?
I would have been okay had Rocksteady, even if they didn't say what they were working on, it's just told us before.
Well, that too. But even like Elder Scrolls showed you that picture and said Elder Scrolls 6, it's coming. Wherever it's coming, it's coming. Like they are doing it. Just put a picture up. With the fucking, so that we know. Oh, it is Superman. Oh, it is whatever. They
don't change your fucking Twitter picture and send everyone in a tizzy.
Yeah. That just made me very angry all weekend.
I kept telling him, I'm like,
we
got a few press conferences left. It's okay. And then nothing.
And then what did they did something afterwards, right? Like, didn't they post something?
Yeah, they did it after all the press conferences were done. It was like the day that everyone.
If you guys thought we were going to do something, because I don't know what made you believe we were ever going to. The whole world was thinking you were going to do something.
It's only E3, the time where everyone shows off a bunch of games. And by the way, guys, there is a ton of other stuff they show. Just like gameplay demos, things that I didn't really have. Some I'm sure I forgot. Some I didn't have any interest in. If you have an interest in, go check it out. Play what you want. Look at what you want. I'm just giving you the things that I find interesting and tell him about it. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I might check that out. And then he never does. I think that is it. And then I meant to check my E3 prediction. Mario Party. I'm into the Switch. October something. Whatever. Comes out in October 5th.
October 5th.
That's cool. Showed off a new, you can do this. You can play it in handheld mode. You can attach two Switches together in weird ways to make the screen. I don't know. Oh. It's Nintendo being Nintendo. But yeah, that is cool. Also, they announced, because no one will ever let these things go, GameCube attachments for the Switch. So you can play Smash with the GameCube controllers, because all the pros and everyone likes using the GameCube controllers whenever they do their big tournaments. They use the GameCube controllers to use them with adapters and stuff. They've done it for every console since the GameCube thing. So you can buy an adapter to use the 4 controllers if you have them, or you can buy a new controller with the USB-C at the end of it to just plug directly into the thing. Into a Switch. And I'm like, that's cool. And they're not that expensive. And I'm like, that's cool too, because Nintendo has a history.
Could you use it for any game?
Right now, it is just Smash.
The new one.
The new ones, yeah.
But could you plug in, like, let's say you get the adapter and use it a GameCube controller, could you play with any game?
Theoretically, if they put in the ability to do that, maybe. I don't know if they will, but right now I think their focus was just appeasing the people who are going to play this game at the tournament level all the time. Because this game is one of those ones that it's a big esports game, and people love watching people play Smash on that. So I do not have I gotta use a fucking GameCube controller problem. Mm-hmm. But if this game is really hard to play on the Switch, then I might have I need a GameCube controller problem. We saw a bunch of stuff at E3. They showed off Unravel, too. That was a cute game. There's 2 of those little dudes now. Get off of that. And then last week, there was a bunch of trailers. We saw... I had them. Oh, here. We saw Halloween, which looks really cool. It erases everything, which was also pretty cool. We saw a Lego 2 trailer, which is just more of Lego. And he has a beef with it, and I understand this completely. It is the ending to the movie, which I'm spoiling if you haven't watched it. But
about the halfway through the fucking first movie, when you realize the way it's being played out, and how that just took me out of the fucking movie that first time, right? And I was so mad about it. I'm watching this trailer, and there's a spot in the trailer where I'm like, oh, that's the sister.
Yeah, the Duplo blocks,
and I'm like, as soon as I thought that, I'm like, because I was watching the trailer, and I had forgotten it, right?
And then you immediately...
And then I saw that, and was like, oh, fuck, yeah, it's not fucking real. And then I actually, no, I did finish the trailer. The one I didn't finish, what trailer didn't I finish?
What came out? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Oh right, yeah, that was
Into the Universe, whatever the
Into the Spider-Verse
one. Yeah, I didn't finish the trailer. That one I shut off.
I did. I'm very torn because I'm a sucker for things that I enjoy, and sometimes things aren't as good as I want them to be, but I still give them the time of day, and that's why they keep making shitty things. Spider-Man, I don't know what they're doing.
Bad. It was okay. I won't see the movie, but the trailer looked okay.
I'll see it when it comes out. I won't see it in the theater because I'm so
done with
Transformers. Yeah, and it's not even so the big thing we didn't really talk about it, but it was the Han Solo thing. Mm-hmm. Where everyone was like, oh, Han Solo didn't do well because The Last Jedi wasn't that good of a movie, blah, blah, blah. I do not believe that.
I don't think that was the reason. I think Han Solo didn't do well because no one wanted a Han Solo fucking movie.
Yeah, and if the fans don't want it and the other half are like, fuck this movie, blah, 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 then it's just not going to do well. Yeah. Transformers has been on the decline since forever.
The first one.
So... Yeah, like the first one, like I still watch it and I'm like, this is cool. It's Transformers because at the time,
but the first one wasn't great to begin with. So like, like when it's kind of it's like fucking DC. Man of Steel, not a great film. So when that's your first one, and then you're like, then you had
building off of that.
Then you had Revenge of the Fall, and you're like, okay, that wasn't that good either. Then you had the Moon, Dark of the Moon, right?
Yeah. That
one I actually liked in comparison to the other two.
Yeah.
And then it was the first Marky Mark one.
Yeah. Which Evolution? No, that's wrong. Extinction. That's it.
It's
one of those words with an E.
It wasn't. Again, it was like okay.
It was.
I liked it for Marky Mark, but then you jump into fucking Knights, and you're like, Jesus, fuck, this is bad again. And so like, but it was never great to begin with.
Yeah.
The franchise, each one just kind of went up and down, maybe a little higher, a little lower. Like nothing like blew my mind with any of them. So it's bound to fizzle out.
Yeah.
And I think it has.
It did. Yeah. It
has and it did, and I think it just is.
And we've reached the point now where it's
where now with Bumblebee, I'm like, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and we're at the point now where like even they were like, we're gonna pull these off our slates,
and restart and like take some time and give a few years, but then it falls into the X-Men thing with Fox. It's like, then why? Like, you could have saved yourself $200 million if you made this idea last year. You would have made Bumblebee.
Fox is weird because like they made a shitty X-Men 3, and then they made First Class.
Awesome.
Which is awesome.
That's a really good one.
And then they continued it with
Days of Futures.
Was that the sequel?
That was the sequel.
Wow. And like,
which
instead of
like, and then that was like okay again.
Yeah, and there was so much hype that was supposed to be good.
Yeah.
And instead of like keeping with your good franchise, you tried to fix your timeline to blend them together to make them work, and it fucked it even more.
Yeah.
And then you followed that with the shitty fucking Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And now this shitty Dark Phoenix movie, which is so bad X-Men doesn't even want its name on it.
Yeah, just call it Phoenix.
It's like, just stop. Also, while we're telling people to stop harassing fucking celebrities online. I've seen this like 4 times this week of people just like, because you have a fucking opinion online, you can tell an actress like you didn't like her in a movie, so you call her every fucking name in the book. No, just do what we do. Badmouth the movie on a podcast. It's so much easier. Like, there's no reason to badmouth an actress and call her names and then attacking a 14-year-old because she's online. It's just like, just fuck off. There's no need for that. If you want to, like, I was thinking about it because everyone's like, oh, why do you got to be negative about stuff if I get negative on stuff? And it's like, we do this and we shit on movies because they're bad or they're just, you need to stop making them because they're awful.
Yeah, I want to see Transformers movies. I want to see X-Men movies. I just want to see good X-Men.
Exactly. Like, make good things. Like, with the Star Wars actress whose name I forget. But, like, yeah, I didn't like her part in the movie. I thought it was unnecessary, but like I think she did an okay job in the movie. Mm-hmm. And like, but I'm not going to feel the need to fucking go after her the way people did. It's just unfucking necessary, and it pisses me off that people do shit like that. And it's just like, why be mean because you think you can on the internet?
Well, they can.
Exactly. That's a fucking person. Like, there's no fucking need for that.
Who was told to do a job.
Exactly.
Right?
She didn't fucking write the script. She agreed to be in a movie that she thought was like, hey, I'm going to be in a Star Wars movie. This is cool. Someone should have fucking warned her, like, the fans are assholes. Like, really, like, hardcore Star Wars fans are douchebags. They're like Rick and Morty fans. They're fucking awful. Like,
I've been watching that.
It's so good, isn't it?
It's good. It's fun.
It's weird, but it's really fucking
weird,
good.
It's different. There's like, is there a story to it? Like
there's an overall arc of like, is he learning anything or is he not? It seems like he is.
But is Rick sick?
He's mentally fucking broken.
Yeah, but there's been a couple issues, like times where like they've done like a thing where it's like, is he sick?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's a slow burn to what's the. And I'm like, I love it.
Like, does he have like a disease or something? And I'm like, did I sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, did I fucking miss something? Like,
I heard you watching it the other day, and I started laughing before I went online. I'm like, I love that show.
I have one episode left in the second season.
Oh, okay. And while I'm ranting on things, there's another thing that popped up in the news this week that pissed everybody off. They announced Fortnite for the Switch, and immediately some fucking, I think it was Australian news network with a Today Show thing on it. They had some stupid idiot on who was like, violent video games are terrible. They blah blah this and they blah blah that. And like just got everyone in a fucking uproar because there's still idiots who believe this. And they're like, oh, there's studies that prove this, blah blah blah. I'm like, yes, those studies are flawed. And they've actually been disproven by other studies. And, like, the one study she refers to was actually denounced by a bunch of scientists and a bunch of people who were like, your methods are flawed, this is not accurate, this is not accurate. And, again, it's violent video games make violent people or violent thoughts or more aggression. And, like, constantly. There has been study after study after for the last like fucking 25 years that have never found any fucking correlation between these things. Mm-hmm. And it's like, just stop. Because what you're doing is basically fear-mongering parents who see this and they're like, oh no, little fucking Johnny is playing Fortnite, so he's going to be a violent sociopath. No, if little Johnny wants to be a sociopath, he was born a sociopath. Or you beat him. One or the other. Like... It just, they need to stop this because it's never been proven, it never works, and, like, you can't ban stuff because they've already, like, California at one point tried to do it, and they were like, no, you can't legally ban the sale of video games because you think they're fucking violent. Yeah. Like, you just can't. And I saw that, and I'm like, stop it. It's unfucking necessary. Every time something's violent, like, The Last of Us, we saw that gameplay trailer. Mm-hmm. Did I fucking murder you? No. Like, that is a world in a situation where those characters, that's what they have to do to survive. Mm-hmm. That's the way the world works. The world doesn't work that way, at least in this country. Mm-hmm. Maybe in other ones, but, like, that's not how it works. It's a game. If you can't dissociate the game from the thing, then you have a problem, not the game. And it goes for anything. When they try to blame that, or like TV, or music. Music is blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no.
Music, yeah.
You have to start.
Visual.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're reaching.
Like, you have to dissociate between the two. Yeah, like, they burned books because they were like, they were against religion and the devil's work. And it's like, no, just stop. It's unnecessary and it pisses me off. You just need to stop. Just have fun with life. Play games because they're fun. You don't have to play video games that are violent. Play Mario Party. Mm-hmm. It incites violence between your siblings because like they stole your star and you're like, now you want to kill them because I don't steal my shit. You know what? Maybe they do. Anyways, moving on. I just wanted to rant for 5 minutes about that. Want to talk comics?
We got about 5 minutes. So what do you want to do?
Okay. Yeah. I ranted a little too long. I don't know. I guess quickly, Jeff Johns left his role for DC and his thing. He's still working on the Green Lantern movie. Kind of confirmed the Green Lantern movie. Jim Lee's going to take over his role at DC, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. It's someone who still kind of seems to know what they're doing. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's opening. He launched Mad.
Yeah, he launched his own comic things. It's what he wants to do, so good for him. For The Flash, they announced that his wife and thing are both main roles, and then
Joe's wife and Elongated Men
are now series regulars.
Which of course they are, because that's what this show didn't already have enough of was too many fucking people. So let's add 2 more. Then
they took one off and added 2 because
we're gonna add the fucking daughter because you know she's gonna play a part of next season, right?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna add the villain of whatever the season is, and then he'll have his fucking minions.
Yeah.
And what this show needs is more fucking people.
Yep, basically. And then that's pretty much it, guys. E3 was this week. There was a bunch of trailers last week. It's a good week to be some nerds. Mm-hmm. If you like entertainment, it's been a good 2 weeks. I've been enjoying all the stuff that's come out. if any of you guys watch this and see my Twitter, I just fucking tweeted up a storm on fucking these things. And then just replying to Curly and Tanpai and Dennis about like what was going on at E3. So if you guys want to check out my pre-E3 predictions, you see how many things we got right. It's not a long episode. It's about 35 minutes. So me and Dennis go over our stuff. And then live streaming. You guys seem to enjoy that. So thank you for that. One of those videos has like 80 views, so cool. I'd like to welcome the few new subs we got in the last little bit, so thank you if you listen to this as well. And then I will have more of the prison game that we were playing out. My brain is just not working. Yeah, I was like, I'm just thinking like what I was thinking fucking Prison Break, but I couldn't think of the name of the game. And then I was thinking of the logo, but it looks like The Last of Us a little bit. So I just kept thinking I'm like, The Last Prison, The Last Castle. No, one of those is fucking wrong.
Us in a prison?
Yeah, us in a prison, like one of those things. But yeah, I will have that up next week. The podcast will go Monday, as you guys know. I try to keep that on the regular basis, and then everything else kind of just goes. I'm gonna start streaming more. You guys like that? And then I got a few other things I'm working on. So thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. We'll be back. Goodbye. I'm Anthony. This is Nick. Talking Bull. Yada, yada, yada. Peace.